Hi lovelies and welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda's channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the love and support. To those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate I, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Alright, lovelies, let's dive in. So, lovelies, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I thought to share with you guys because I actually find it super interesting. Where a lot of, women are asked to talk about how historically uncolored women have been so jealous of, black women, even right from slavery. I'm just gonna roll the clip as well as some of the speeches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section for your thoughts of this video.
So today at work, one of my coworkers was telling me how hard it was growing up as a mixed girl with a white mom, and I was explaining to her something that I'm really surprised she didn't know. I was telling her that historically white women have always been jealous of black women because the slave owner that was the man would come out and sleep with the slave and then get her pregnant, and then when it was time for the baby to be born, the white woman would make sure that the slave mother and the daughter were sold. Didn't matter if they were separating a family, didn't matter if they were sold together, didn't matter if they were sold separately. She just didn't want any more signs of his infidelity, and that was the reason why they were always jealous of us. It never stopped. It is what it is. But really, my take on interracial dating has always been the same. I just never really was a fan of it myself, but I was thinking I could possibly be wrong biblically speaking, because if you think about it, Miriam, Moses' sister, was not fond of him marrying Ethiopian, I think, woman, and so she said something out of the way, something that irritated God enough to where he gave Miriam 7 days of leprosy, and Moses had to pray it off of her. So it's like, is it a problem, or should we speak down on interracial dating, or no? I honestly I've been confused lately. And then on top of that, on the other end of the spectrum, remember, I think Samson? Anyway, the guy who fought the lion, ate the honey out the lion or something. Anyway, the guy, he was defeated by Delilah, and that's because she was not in his people. So he was interracially dating also, and it was the cause of his demise. So it's so confusing. Like, we had a really good talk today. I don't know, it's everywhere. I'm not quite sure of what way is the right way or the wrong way.
Wear braids or wear native African clothes. If we go and have an aggressive tan, we are never going to be questioned. That's white privilege, and that's why we can freely copy black women for everything they naturally are and reap benefits and even get praised on top of what another person's discrimination is all about. So how can we comfortably sit and be like, I'm wearing braids because it's only hair? No, it's not only hair. It's another person's daily struggle because it's their culture and they're not free to express it. Meanwhile, you, Karen, and you, Becky, you go out, wear the braids, get praises, and absolutely do nothing against the discrimination black women go through. That's the acceptance of compliments. That's when we are getting those compliments without correcting that, oh, thank you, this is actually a black hairstyle. This is actually, we are not even ready to question our own white privileges. That's why we are labeling it only hair, so that we can comfortably culturally appropriate another person's identity. We are using these statements to make ourselves comfortable while we know that we are doing the wrong thing. We know, deep down we know, we just don't want to say it out because we want to reap the benefits.
Now, remember I was calling Auntie name all weekend? Jesus. Miss Cookie Ann said, all white women have is white power. Oh, this what made me holler, damn. All white women have is white power over us because there'll never be enough woman. Damn. all white women have is white power over us, because there'll never be woman enough compared to black women. Imagine being so jealous of black women's superiority that you weaponize laws and whiteness. White women use whiteness like white men use Now, see, I know Auntie be like, I'm just trying to do better. I'm just over here rowing my boat. Look here. I don't know who else needed this. I don't know who else needed this. But I did. But I did. Because again, right? Black women normally, right, are taught to take white women on a case by case basis. And good sis, the delusional influencer, said this crucial thing that I don't think a lot of people caught in her stitch. She said all it takes is for a white woman to feel unsafe, intimidated, feel like she can't run you, feel like she can't control you, and she can't get a beat on you, and the first thing that she gonna do is fall back into overseer ass behavior, because that's all they have. Now again, there are some white women on this app and in the world who have deconstructed that and have found their own self inside their own self, and that's amazing, right? But it's far too many of them who do this, which is why we gonna just be 100. There are many older black women who have told us of this generation, which is why some of y'all need to listen to your aunties and mamas and grandmas on how to deal with some of these hoes. Which is why you can't which is why you need to keep respectability politics in your back pocket, because you gotta go through the world, right? You gotta go through the world, and as my sister say, you can't make it easy for them to get you, but also know that you ain't playing either. But this here. But sis was absolutely correct. For that gene to activate, all a class of white women need is to feel some type of way about you. For you to use a word that she don't understand. For you to flex in your blackness, or for her to tell you something which you're supposed to imbibe and just take, right? And not have an answer for that. When you stand in all your flat-footedness, in all yourself, and all your education, in all your experience, and all of your age, because this is the man. Look, I've been a card player my whole life. So this here, right? If we just gonna be 100 with it, this is that jack of spades. This is that jack of spades that they throw out, thinking they gonna take the book, right? Thinking they gonna take the book, forgetting that. Right? Because if you a real spades player, you watch the whole board, right? You watch the whole board, you watch for tails, and that's what black women do on a day-to-day basis. We watch the whole board. So when you flex on this, I already counted your book. I already know that's all you got, and you ain't getting nothing left off me. Look, my mom and grandma said it like this, and my aunt Linda too. Not every shut eye is sleep. As Sonny said, this gang, look, this class of Miss Millie been doing this shit forever. And I know that it's classes of Jaybirds who come by this way of differing educational levels, professional experiences, life experience. And I'm gonna tell you this here: keep this in your back pocket. If being a black woman was so bad, they would stop trying. If it was so bad, they wouldn't spend money to look like we do naturally. Again, Voltaire said, if someone can make you believe absurdities, they can make you commit atrocities. But this here for the win. Thank you, Auntie Cookie. Just, man, when I saw this in the comments, I sat up and cussed. Love her.
I have friends from Europe, so I am not racist. I am just simply giving my experience. Most people globally have watched African American women and women of African descent on TV, and they think that is how all African American women behave. So when they meet a woman who's educated, well-spoken, beautiful, well-manicured, they don't know how to handle it. They also are extremely jealous that their husbands, their fathers, their uncles, all of the men in their lives literally stare at you the entire time that you are out in a restaurant or wherever you are, market, they are highly attracted to women of African descent. White women do not know how to handle this. In America, I have experienced this in corporate America, but in Europe, you experience this in the markets. They literally act like toddlers or mean girls.
So today I'm going to tell you guys about when I worked for an organization that I actually really loved. It was predominantly white, and everyone there was like very hipster. They were very Christian, but very like hipster. I'm a cool Christian. So when I started working there, one of the girls on my team, she really took a liking to me. She was a white woman, and every single week we would go to lunch. So our team would meet once a week for a mandatory meeting. And then after the meeting, her and I would go to lunch. And we did this for weeks when I first got there. And so one day on the way back from lunch, she was driving. And she looked over to me and she said, "I am so glad you are so nice. I was so scared when they brought you around and said that you were going to be on our team. I just knew you were going to be so mean." And I said, "Mean? Why did you think I was going to be mean?" And she said, "Well, so-and-so is really mean." So-and-so was the other Black girl on our team. She was also a therapist and she had been there for a couple of years. And I said, "Well, is she mean? She's not mean to me." And she said, "Well, her and so-and-so are mean." The other so-and-so that she was referring to was the other only Black girl who was the therapist at the organization. Now, mind you, the organization was pretty big. They had a Monroe location and a Rayville location. They still do. And at this time, it was me, so-and-so, and so-and-so. We were the only Black therapists at an entire organization who predominantly saw Black clients. And so I said, "Why do you think they're mean? Those girls are not mean. They talk to me." And she said, "No, they don't. They barely talk to anybody." I said, "Okay, well, have they done anything to you to make you feel like they're mean or they're rude or y'all don't get along or anything? Y'all seem to get along pretty well." And she said, "Well, when I invite them to lunch, they don't come. When we invite them over," the therapist that I was talking to at the time, she lived with two of the other white women therapists at the office. They all kind of lived in a house together. "When we invite them over, they don't come and they just don't seem interested in hanging out." So I said, "Are they mean or are they introverts?" And she said, "No, they're mean. They make a point to go out of their way to not hang out with us." So I said, "So what about Sam?" Sam is a white girl or white woman who also worked at the agency. She was also a therapist. I said, "She never comes to anything. She doesn't go to lunch with us. She doesn't come over when y'all have stuff at the house. She barely even makes it to the damn meetings. Do you think that she's mean?" And she said, "No, Sam's just ISFP." And I looked at her and I said, "Oh, ISFP is a Myers-Briggs like personality type. Therapists love a personality type." And so I said, "Well, if Sam can be introverted and have a specific personality type that makes it so that she doesn't really like to be around other people very much, why is it that you don't believe that these two other therapists could be introverts or have a personality type that make it so that they don't really want to be around other people either? Why is it that they are classified as mean or rude and not just introverted?" And y'all, her direct response to me was, "I didn't think about it like that." She had literally never considered that Black people had different personality types. As a therapist, it had never crossed her mind that Black people are not all one type of person. That we have different personalities and enjoy different things and can also be introverts and extroverts, and some of us lie somewhere in the middle. It had never dawned on her. She had just made the assumption that these women were bitches. And far too often, that is the assumption made about Black women when we are not overly happy and super bubbly and very extroverted. We have to go out of our way to be the extreme in order not to be seen as angry Black women or rude. But everyone doesn't want to play that game, and they don't have to. We shouldn't have to do that just to be seen as people. No one else has to do that but us. Welcome back.
I really think the racial divide between black women and white women is worse than with the men. Sisters, some of your non-black co-workers are very interested in you. Genuinely, they want to get to know you. But white women, that entitlement, see, you guys call us mean, we consider you two-faced. We don't trust you. We don't trust you. See, we are not the fake it till you make it type of people. Y'all are. Y'all will smile in someone's face and have ulterior motives. I mean, if a trained therapist cannot recognize regular introversion, can you imagine what an untrained garden variety white woman thinks about a black woman? We're not mean. We're just trying to protect ourselves from y'all. Who would want to be around a group of people where every little thing is considered a slight? I'm good.
So, I think we should all, as white women, just admit we're jealous of black women's hair. Now, I stopped saying we should all do this, we should all do that somewhere around high school or college because I apparently am not the norm. Later in life found out I was autistic, so I apparently think about things differently. But I have always loved their hair and hated my own. And I think that a lot of this appropriative box braids, other than clout chasing and rage farming, because people do stupid shit for views, but I think a lot of it, and the reason white women get so bent out of shape, you're just jealous that their hair looks better than ours. That's why it's discriminated against, is because they have something we don't, and we just can't handle that, can we? Can we just admit we're jealous and stop with the bullshit and nonsense and just let them have their hair and shut up about it? Because that'd be awesome.
I feel like the only reason why a lot of white women appropriate black culture, and black women especially, is because they feel like they are no longer the beauty standard and they want attention. They feel as if many black people no longer center whiteness as the ideal beauty, and they want to take up space and they want to erase us. That's why we have people like Yes Jules copying black women, wearing box braids, and antagonizing us. They want attention.
Like, seriously, lovelies, it actually baffles me to know that this jealousy between pan-colored women and black women is not something that actually started today. When I saw this first video that I actually stitched, where she was talking about how, these masters that often have, slaves go about to, I say the slave women, like I say the girls, get them pregnant, and after which their wives often sell them out, like they don't actually want to see these girls. So they turn to be something like a rival to them, and they can actually not stop their husbands from doing such thing, because their husband is just like a law, so he is opportune to do whatsoever he want to do. And why she, as a white woman, will often just take it, and what she have to do is just keep on cleaning the mess of the said husband. So with the trend up today with the corporate jobs, and how pan-colored women dislike or are so jealous of black women, or actually want to get what's like every other thing that pan-colored women owns, is something that I think is understandable. If it can actually be a historical thing, I don't think it's just going to be something that can be eradicated even till date. These women are so jealous that they began to appropriate. They actually want to start looking the way black women looks, by appropriating their culture, wearing braids, and some of other things that they appropriate. It all started from the historical fact that we all learned today, or that I actually found out today, because sometimes when I see most of all these stitches, and they're about black women complaining on how they've been treated, especially at workspaces, especially how pan-colored women treat black women. I have to ask myself, like, why is it so? Is it because of what? Like, so I don't came across this video where this sister was talking about how it all began. Like, this is something that is just there. It's is something that has begun long even before we all were born and all of that. So whatsoever thing that is happening in our today's in our society is something that has been there for a very long time. A lot of black women, which is so true, complain about how these bank color women make their life so miserable in terms of when you're working for them or with them or even in a group with them. They just dislike you for nothing. If you decide that you want to be on your own, you just want to focus on going to work, resuming work, doing your thing and going back without trying to be too playful with anyone at workplace, they tend to call you a rude person because they see you as a threat. They see you as someone that actually want to take something that belongs to them, even if you don't want to actually take anything from them. They see you as a competition, as a threat. Like, this actually remind me of the bush back body thing that actually trended. That's about last week. They were just all in the conference, dressing and discussing on their own table manner, like work related issue. When this pan colored woman decided to pick on this lady by talking about her eyelashes, the way her eyelashes can you see very clearly. Like, they just dislike you just for nothing, just for actually being attractive, for being an attractive black woman. They just dislike you. They feel that you are there to take away things from them. They try by all means to make you become the bad person. This is why they introduce what we know today as a white woman tears. Like, they use these tears to weaponize, like to make it look as if that you are actually the bad person, the rude person. You also want to oh my god, do whatsoever thing you want to do. That was why when this white woman tears of she was talking about this trend that was going on TikTok about the man and the bear, and she twisted the question and asked this question to black women. She was like, would you actually want to be in a conference room along with the white woman or a white man? And a lot of black women were actually optioning for white men, and this got these women so nuts. Like, a lot of them actually came for her and put her down. Like, you are actually proving what white woman whispers was trying to talk about, what she was trying to explain, how dangerous you guys are in the life of black women. And funny enough, this is not something that have started today. This is something that it has been in the history. So it is actually understandable when these women say black women as some kind of threat, even if you are not there to take nothing from them. And if they see an attractive one at that, especially at workspaces, oh my goodness, they'll make you so miserable until when you leave the job, because they see you as and when you become this kind of a black woman that have all it takes and you are doing so well in your job, your academic and all of that, they become so wow. They cannot even sit because they feel that them as the pan-colored women are the most attractive, are the most intelligent, are the most that can actually do the work better than any other person. And when they see you as a black woman trying to oh, you are actually good in every other thing you're doing, this is when they become so uncomfortable with you. They will make sure that they make you so miserable until when you leave that said job. They might even term you rude, arrogant, all of it. But because of what? Or because they don't feel comfortable with you. They don't feel threatened by you. Your presence makes them shush. Your presence makes them, especially when you are an intellectual. They become so there's a video I actually stitched where a white woman was like, she was actually giving reasons why she feel that pan-colored women are jealous, and she used herself as an example as a teacher. She talked about how, she was in this teaching organization, and she found out that a particular black woman was so intellectual, was so that she was so intelligent, that she, as a white woman, was feeling so intimidated. And because of the intimidation that she was feeling, or because of the intimidation that she felt in the presence of this black woman, she was now getting so jealous of her and trying to. This woman actually opened up. She opened up. She was just like, she decided that she was gonna make this woman to just leave this job for her. Like, serious, they can go to any length to prove that they are still the one that is to be chosen in terms of anything. Seriously. And to couple with the fact that this is something historical. It all started even during this, slave trade and all of that. Anyways, lovelies, why not just, leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. So please share this video, subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next
I've watched up to this extent. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational purposes. So please share this video, subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that. And I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.